Two Democratic senators are now pushing for a criminal investigation of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas for possible violations of federal ethics and tax laws. You have to say possible so that you don't get sued. Not because you believe that it's only possible, but this is Senator Sheldon Whitehouse and Ron Wyden. So they said that the Senate Finance and Judiciary Committees have been investigating a more than $250,000 loan connected to Clarence Thomas's purchase of a recreational vehicle back in 1999. That loan was provided by Anthony Welters, a friend of Thomas's, and documents obtained by the Democratic-led finance panel indicated that Thomas only made interest payments on the loan. It was eventually just forgiven, the balance of it, in 2008, but Thomas didn't even report the forgiveness as income on his financial disclosure report covering 2008. So while he's a sitting Supreme Court justice, a friend of him gives him a $250,000 gift that he pays virtually nothing on, and then it's canceled, which is income, and he doesn't report it. This is a possible violation of federal ethics and tax laws. Possible. So they're talking about investigating it right now. They've also accused Thomas of failing to report gifts that he received from Harlan Crow, a billionaire friend of his who has business before the Supreme Court and obviously wants to have Supreme Court justices in his pocket. In addition to flights aboard Crow's private plane, they cited yacht trips and lodging that Thomas received from 2003 to 2021. This is literally decades of gifts totaling millions of dollars. Private plane trips, tickets to sporting events, and lodging, and all sorts of nonsense. And so they say, we do not make this request lightly. The evidence assembled thus far plainly suggests that Justice Thomas has committed numerous willful violations of federal ethics and false statement laws and raises significant questions about whether he and his wealthy benefactors have complied with their federal tax obligations. Back in April, Thomas claimed that he didn't have to disclose his gifts. He says, early in my tenure at the court, I sought guidance from my colleagues and others in the judiciary and was advised that this sort of personal hospitality from close personal friends who did not have business for the court was not reportable. I have endeavored to follow that counsel throughout my tenure and have always sought to comply with the disclosure guidelines. So personal hospitality, handing over millions of dollars, close personal friends that I got after I became a Supreme Court justice. It's amazing how that works out. But don't worry, he talked to someone and they said it was totally cool, Sharon. What do you think?
Yeah, and he's not going to name who he spoke to. And if he's forced to, he'll say something like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It would be people who can't, corroborate this. Okay, no one told him that. And I think they should focus first on, we know he's an unethical jerk, okay, and a self-hater. I think they should focus on the tax stuff. Okay, let's look into that. Because if you're getting, I guarantee you, if you got, I don't know, something nominal under $50 and you did not report it, okay? You're a very valued member of this network, but they'll put you in jail. You would go to jail, okay? Prison for you. And who knows when you would get out for this infraction. So this guy is doing what appears to be criminal activity. He's running game on all of us and he's getting big bucks for it. And he's also probably flying a flag upside down. Okay, we know Ginny Tom. I mean, come on. It's not so hard to imagine. I have no evidence of this. I probably should have said it, but I guarantee you at one of their homes or maybe inside the RV that was gifted to them, like $200,000, there's an upside down flag.
How about this? Possibly flying a flag.
Okay, possibly. And these are my views, not the network, please.
Yeah, don't send me to jail.
I shouldn't have said it. But that's it. I suspect this. It's in my own head. No proof.
Yeah, and again, I know that we probably don't have many conservatives that are still watching. Maybe Marjorie Greene, that's probably it. But I know that you see yourself as being part of a movement that is many things, but one of them always is anti-elite. How you like this? How you like people with lifetime appointments and virtually unlimited power being groomed over the course of decades by billionaires and being given millions of dollars in presents? And how do you like this? How do you like all of this corruption stuff coming out thanks to good reporting from ProPublica and other organizations, and then nothing happens, and now the Supreme Court justices who were already corrupt for decades know that there will be no consequences. They have been freed up. They are above ethical constraints and disclosure laws. And then they turn around and they tell the president that he's literally above the law for criminal violations. So now we have the Supreme Court, we have the president, who now have way more power and way less oversight than they did just a couple of months ago. Is this feeling anti-elite to you?